Are you ready?
Yes. Are you
Viewers?
Oh. For our top 10 commanders of all time? Is that what we're doing? Or not of all time, excuse me. Of 2023?
Of all time of 2023? I didn't think we were actually starting the
Of
video.
all
Let's do this,
23,
guys. We're going to talk
23
about our
time.
You, Levi, and me, Howie, our top 10 commanders of 2023 that came out this year, specifically, believe it or not.
Of the entire 2023. This is definitely some personal opinion in there. You know, maybe not all of these are going to be like the most most powerful out of everything. And hey, maybe you won't agree with all of them, but that's what the comments are for. So, yeah, let's freaking get into this, Howie. After my camera stops being okay, there we go. I'm in focus. I'm focused. I'm clear-headed.
Focus. Dude, that should have been our name. Commander in Focus.
Commander. Oh, man.
That would have been a cool name. We should use that for something. Don't steal that, audience.
Don't steal that.
All right. You want me to start or what?
Yeah, sure. Let's do this. We
are not doing these in order. These are just our top 10 in general. And we're just kind of picking and choosing as we go. Sliver Grey Mother. I had to think about like what we have.
Dramatic.
So this is the new Sliver Commander of the Year. There was another one, but I don't like her very much. The human lady, Madagascar. What was her name? Who cares? Sliver Grey Mother's 5 colors for a 6/6 legendary Sliver. The legend rule does not apply to Slivers you control. Each Sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value, and Encore 5 itself. So basically, you build a Sliver deck and you put this at the helm. you want some like graveyard stuff too, and maybe all of the ETBs, because when you get an ETB with the Encore, they all see each other at the same time. Yeah. It's not like a lot of token creating effects where it's like one, then one, then one. It's all 3 enter at the same time, and you get 9 things happening because you get 3 things, each seeing 3 other things. Like, one of the best ones is Harmonic Sliver, I think it's called, with the destroy target artifact or enchantment. So you play that for 3 mana for the Encore, and you just
destroy everybody's artifacts.
9 things, basically.
I mean,
it's super good. Yeah, it is Harmonic Sliver. I had to look it up.
You could do it.
It was
with
an
Anthem Sliver. With some kind of Sliver
yeah,
that has like an Anthem effect or something like that. Having like 6 of them is nasty.
Oh yeah, you get more if you add Mondrak or Anointed Procession or any of the token devils. We got Tripler now too. O'Hare Tack.
Yeah, put that one in there. Honestly,
that'd actually be super cool, because then you're gonna end up with like 9.
Maybe it's not a Sliver, but tokens. That would be kind of insane. Think about it.
No, you don't. Not every card in the deck needs to be a Sliver. I built a list with 44 creatures, I believe, and like 4 of them weren't Slivers, but you still got 40 Slivers. You know what I mean?
That's still a lot. Yeah, and I know people have been known to put in some end of the turn effects as well to get around that sacrifice thing.
Sundial of the Infinite.
Yeah, effects like that.
We did a deck tech on this. Check it out. I'm going to put it right there.
Yeah.
Or so.
Somewhere.
Do me good, editors.
One that I fell in love with was Galta and Mavrin.
I'm a dinosaur. Roar.
It's a 3 green, white, legendary creature, dinosaur, vampire with trample. Whenever you attack, you get to choose one. You create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures, or create X/1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. So I made a deck with my collection. I didn't even like make a super tight list with this guy, and it honestly performs really well at my LGS. It always gets maybe at least like 1 win when I'm pulling it out. So that's a pretty good win rate, honestly.
Super cool.
I built it a little more around the vampires, but there's there are things in the deck that help with that dinosaur that comes out as well. Like I've had some big creatures that come out, and then I'll make a dinosaur as well. So
it's good to have that
very
option.
versatile. Yeah, it honestly is, and it's won me games from the versatility.
Yeah.
And honestly, every time I play this, people are scared. They are genuinely terrified of this commander, and it brings me joy.
12/12 trample alone in the command zone with no downside. It's very good.
It's so good. I love this commander.
I borrowed this deck from you a couple of weeks ago and played it against you. And
yeah, you wiped us.
Hydra was the 3 mana.
Yeah,
Hydra. That thing ended up making like a 12/12 by the time Galta came out to attack along with it. That 1/1 with trample. We love 1/1s with trample. No matter what. They're always good.
They're always good, baby. So, I think just due to the versatility and due to just the pure nature of this, we had to include it in our top 10.
One of only 2 rares on the list.
Yeah.
Spoilers. All the rest are mythic. I love 1/1s with trample, right? Like that Mana Gorger Hydra.
Yeah, you do.
So let's talk about the Myco Tyrant.
The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus.
Also, at its base level, 1/1 with trample, it's 1 green and a black. 3 mana for a Elder Fungus. That's also super cool. There's not a lot of elders.
Yeah.
We'll get to Elder Tribal one day. It's a star. It has trample. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control that are fungi and or saprolings. At the beginning of your end step, create X 1/1 black fungus creature tokens with this creature can't block, or X is the number of times you've descended this turn. Descend is a new mechanic. It is to have a card.
It's permanent. I believe it has to be a permanent.
You descend each time a permanent card is put into your graveyard from anywhere. You are correct.
Yep.
It has trample, and it's a 1/1, and that's all that you had to say for me, because that always means that there's some busted thing that comes with it. You can dredge, you can self-mill. There's a lot of things that in these colors that let you mill for even a couple, and that gets really out of control. And there's a lot of saproling creating things like shoot, I don't know what it's called, but it's got devour. So you can devour all your fungus creatures you have, and then you make that many during each of your upkeeps. So it just cascades and cascades into more. It's really cool.
Into more fun guys.
This is a super cool commander. I'm not a huge Golgari player. I used to have 1 Golgari deck that didn't feel Golgari. Yeah. Golgari Lathril. That's your deck now. Spoilers.
Yeah, it is.
Everything's a spoiler.
I think Josh Lee Kwai playing it showed the world how powerful the Micro Tyrant is.
Shout out. Get on our channel one day.
Get on our channel, Josh Lee Kwai. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
So that's that pick. Tell me about one of the other decks you built.
Yes. Zuladoc, Void Gorger.
Ugh.
What I love about this is that there wasn't a whole lot of good colorless commanders out there, and then with, say what you will about the commander set, maybe it was a little bit of a letdown for some people, but I like the colorless support that it did give. So, Zuladoc, Void Gorger, 5 and a colorless. Colorless spells you cast from your hand with mana value 7 or greater have Cascade. Now, I absolutely adore this because a lot of Eldrazi's are 7 or more. And you can cascade into more Eldrazi's with that. It's kind of a slower deck to get going, but then it kind of all vomits out all at once, and then you win on that turn or the turn after usually. And with all these Annihilator triggers, you're usually crippling everybody.
And you got things like the Kozilek, so you're just refilling your hand and you just keep going.
Yeah, it's very brutal, and it can even be considered a little bit mean. I have been called a bad person for playing this. I am okay with that.
At least you're only a bad person until the game's over, which is pretty quick.
Yeah, people forget that you're a bad person as soon as you put this guy away.
Yeah. They say, oh, now you're playing
Oh,
a
you're
shitty Galta and Maverin deck. Whoops.
exactly. So I just think he's great. He's a really good addition to the colorless. To colorless, I guess. I was gonna say to the colorless color.
The colorless color. I do like also that he doesn't really need to be built Eldrazi. If you want to go colorless artifacts, it works too. He just has colorless spells.
Yeah, you don't actually have to.
Super cool. So speaking of, I'm just going to piggyback off you all video.
Oh.
Wait. You wanted to talk about that one. Who am I even talking about anymore? I'm going to talk about Hackball. He's cool. With the Surging Soul. I was going to steal one from you.
That's okay.
He's 2, a green and a blue for legendary Merfolk Scout. I didn't know Scout was a type. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each Merfolk creature you control explores. That's really good. Whenever Hackball of the Surging Soul attacks, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you don't, draw a card. That second part, pure Simic value, but that first part, exploring means you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you put it in your hand. If it's a non-land card, you can put it in your graveyard or keep it on top of your library. Either way, you put a +1/+1 counter on that Merfolk. So you're pumping all your Merfolk, most likely, getting lands into your hand, and filtering out the cards straight to your graveyard that you don't really need right now. It is not unreasonable, too, with a lot of the new, not just Merfolk, but the Explore support, to get like a unblockable, like, 9/9 out on turn 4, 5, or 6-ish, and just start chipping away at everybody, and just getting... You're accruing so much value. This is like Value the Commander. I love this card. I love Merfolk. I used to have a Q-Mana deck, and now I'm going to get this one.
Yeah, very worth getting. I mean, right out of the box, this Precon is like easily one of the best ones. And it pairs really well with... Because it gives you a lot of lands, it can even pair really well with some of the stuff that you've always wanted to play. You know, play an extra land on your turn. You know, throw in that card, Exploration. Whichever one that is.
Yeah.
One of the two. There's 2 cards. There's one that's called Explore, one that's Exploration. The one that lets you play an extra land.
I think they both let you play a land extra, but Explore is a sorcery.
Yeah. Exploration's the enchantment. Anyway, put that in your deck. You know what I mean? Like, because you totally can. You can afford it with this. Because you can afford to just dump your lands out on here. Right there. Yargle and Multani.
The other
we made a deck tech. Yeah, we made a deck tech on this guy not too long ago. We loved to see him. When we were a young channel. He's just 3 black, and a green, and he's an 18/6 Frog Spirit Elemental. He doesn't do anything. He's just a big boy. But what's so great about him is that you can play him Voltron. He is mostly Voltron, but you can also... What I have is a sack value deck, so the intention is to kill him and get a lot of card draw or other values from him, and then reanimate him or use an Undying effect on him to basically just bring him back. He's very scary. Being an 18/6, he doesn't get messed with very often. People don't tend to send in a lot of things to you because they don't want it to die. So you can even pump him up. There's definitely enough Undying spells that will like give you +2, +0 or something. Like you can one-shot somebody with him.
Oh yeah.
Really quickly too. It can be like turn 4 sometimes, and you just one-shot someone. I've done it.
I've seen you combo off pretty quick. Like, surprisingly quick. I know he's in green, and green is like the ramp color, but it's not just ramping into him. It's ramping into him and then popping off right away. Turn
5, it's like, anyway, so I'm drawing 20 cards now. Objections? it really is like that. So,
yeah. Very,
very awesome. He's just so cool. And he doesn't look like it, but he's very versatile.
He's like the coolest card with the least amount of words on it. You know what I mean? He's got all that flavor text, but like the real words. The ones we care about.
The ones we care about are the 18-6. What else,
right.
Howie? What else?
I want to talk about Alayla Cunning Conqueror 2. Blue-black for 2/4 with flying. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, create a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying. Whenever one or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, goad target creature that player controls. I'm not huge on goad, but this is like the coolest goad commander I ever did see in my entire life.
It's a cherry on top, even, honestly. This card probably doesn't even need to have that part on it.
Honestly,
let's be real.
no.
It doesn't need it, but it's
I
there.
only care about whenever you cast your first spell. Well, actually, I do care about it, and that does push it over the edge for me. Probably put it in the top 10. It wouldn't be there without that, I think.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good because of both of the abilities put together. But doing stuff during each player's turn, playing the game at instant speed is awesome. The fact that the tokens you make are not just fairies, but are rogues is important. There's several things that you can do for rogues that make you do stuff. There's one I really want to talk about. I think it's called Prosperous Thief, where whenever a rogue deals damage to an opponent, you make a treasure. It's like a baby Grim Hireling. And you want effects like that and abilities like that going on so you can have more mana to play more things during your opponent's turns. So
to make more fairies and rogues.
To make more fairies and to goad more stuff. And a commander, also Hackball, the one we just talked about 2 commanders ago. But when you have 2 triggered abilities on your commander, you can play Roaming Throne, my new favorite card of all time. And that's awesome because then you can make 2 1/1s, goad 2 things during each opponent's turn. And that's a lot. I don't play a lot of black decks, but like this one and also Micro Tyrant, I really want to build those.
Yeah.
They're cool.
These are like the ones you would choose for sure.
They're cool. And you were telling me earlier, and it's true, this is like the best fairy tribal commander probably.
Yeah.
It doesn't care too much about fairies herself, but she makes the fairies more consistently than any other commander. And the other ones just kind of, they fall a little short or they're too expensive mana-wise, in my opinion.
One that just came out that I have to talk about, because you guys know, if you have been watching the channel, I like my big creatures.
Steal from you.
Pantlaza! Sun Favored. It's 2 red, green, white. It's the legendary dinosaur. It's what everybody's talking about these days, you know? Your mom, your grandma, you probably hear it at the store. Everyone's talking about Pantlaza. Whenever
they're playing Pantlaza Go in the park.
Yeah. It's the new it's the new boy on the block, and everybody likes him. When he enters the battlefield under your control, you may discover X, where X is the creature's toughness. So when he enters, you do it, and then whenever another dinosaur enters, you do it once each turn. So, very, very cool. We recently even got a cool idea because it's only once each turn. There was someone in the comments that mentioned it'd be kind of interesting to dabble in flash stuff, you know, being able to flash out dinosaurs so that you can utilize that discover even more effectively. So thank you for that.
Something like a Vivian, Champion of the Wilds, I think her name is, the 3-mana Vivian. She gives all your creatures flash.
So she would do great in here. I think there's an artifact. There's one that even comes in. There's actually an artifact that already is in the deck that allows you. You can tap it.
Oh yeah,
it allows you,
or you can tap put a next creature you cast has flash.
Yep.
You choose a type or something. It's super cool.
Yeah. So
versatility. That's what we like.
Other than that fact, I think the Discover mechanic is just super awesome. It's Cascade, but it allows you to, instead of cast the card, if you don't want to cast the card for free, you can just put it in your hand. I think that's awesome. And I've been heard that it's a more fair. I don't know. I have yet to play enough of it. I want to play more. More fair than Cascade is what I'm trying to say. But I just think Pantlaza is so dang cool. He fits
He's
so
cool.
well with dinosaurs. Like, dinosaurs have a bunch of big toughness. Ugh, we love to see it.
I played my first game against Pantlaza today, and it absolutely wrecked me. Like, I knew the card was great. I knew the deck was great, but like
Seeing it in action.
It does a very similar thing from Zula Doc, where you're like vomiting out stuff. That's why I was gonna like segue into it earlier. But like,
I love vomiting stuff out.
Very good. It's very good. I'm a huge fan. It does awesome, and it lets you play all those cool Naya dinos. Irras. Check out the video. We did a horribly low budget deck tech a long time ago at this
It's one of our first videos.
It might as well be our first video. We don't talk about the actual first one. It's 2 red. It's just called Irras for a legendary 5 Rexian Praetor. It's a 4/4 with first strike. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to target opponent, and you add red. And then 4 red, you exile Irras, return it transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery, and only if you cast 3 or more instants or sorceries this turn. On the backside, it is the great work. It's Saga. Chapter 1 deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. Chapter 2, create 3 treasure tokens. Chapter 3, until end of turn, you may cast instant and sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell cast would be put into a graveyard this way, exile it instead, and then flip it back. This card is like the best mono red Storm Commander. I don't know if I can say it's the best Storm Commander, but it's the best one that's come out in a while. It's super cool. My friend that I play with regularly in my group has it, and you can't let Irras stick or the game is going to end within a turn or two. Like, as soon as he's set up, he's casting his own instants and sorceries from his hand, and then again straight from his graveyard. His storm count's going to 20. He's casting Grape Shot after he already put like a Torbrand on the field, and there's some sort of damage multiplier. Now we're
you
all
start
dead.
getting machine gunned, and you're like,
yeah. And he's like, I don't need the extra 21 mana I have left over because you guys are dead. Like, it's just nasty, dude. It's really nasty. It's such a cool deck. It's like the most fun I've ever had watching someone play Solitaire. It's super cool.
That's so awesome. We love to see that one too. And it was about time, because I know Irras was he had the reputation of being like the quote unquote worst Praetor. He was the worst.
The first 2 cycles he was.
Yeah.
Now this time,
so now he has
say he's the best.
He's great. He's fantastic. We love him. And he's just a cool dude. Like, I'd be his friend if he'd allow it.
Look at those cool Wolverine-esque looking claw things, dude.
Yeah.
He's cool. And one of the reasons why I think he's such a cool Storm Commander is that even if you, like, whiff, like, you don't end the game during your big Storm turn, you still did a lot and, like, actually put a lot of pressure on the game. Like, everybody probably took a lot of damage and the game's close to over, even though it's not quite over yet.
Mm-hmm.
I know people have a problem watching someone storm off for 10, 15 minutes, whatever. It doesn't really take that long. People are over exaggerating, but like a long time, and then like, well, I didn't end the game, guys, sorry. Versus like, well, yeah, you took 20, you took 18, you took 17. Go have fun. Yeah,
just being able to chunk that hard and be a major threat is cool, and you don't see it a lot with mono red, like,
no,
mono red tends to have a different identity than this, so I love to see something different, That's what
my favorite mono red commander.
He's great
all time. Talked about our last pick, I think, right? Number 10.
Yes,
out of number 1.
We had to at least
the
One Ring. We had to at least include somebody from the Lord of the Rings, and we thought Eowyn Shield Maiden was one of basically the best commander out of that set. It's 2 blue, red, and white with first strike, Human Knight. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if another human entered the battlefield under your control this turn, create 2/2 red Human Knight creature tokens with trample and haste. Then, if you control 6 or more humans, draw a card. She's a well-oiled V12 engine, baby.
Yep.
She's just had her spark plugs changed out. You know what I'm saying? Hear that engine purr.
Headlight fluid added, you know what I mean?
Yeah, headlight fluid is freshly cycled.
Yeah.
The fact that she makes 2/2 red Human Knights that have trample and haste just for putting a freaking human on the field, which is like easy to do because humans they cost nothing. You could just burp and like all of a sudden a human is just on the field, you know? Yeah. So
it's very good. And she draws you
value.
Cards.
And she draws you cards. That's why she's like a V12.
And she lends herself to like extra combats because
Hellcat.
Those tokens have haste built in, and at the beginning of each combat you do the thing, and then you draw more cards. She's very, very good. Another good.
Her precon's nasty.
Walking throne.
Really good roaming throne. Ad. Very, very good roaming throne ad. Yeah, I mean,
got our video up there.
We get it. It's human tribal, but I think with these colors, she's so strong. She's so strong. Her value is just through the roof.
Yeah,
and
our friend
with a lot of good colors.
Our friend. Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick. Yeah.
Every time she enters the battlefield, it's horrible for us.
It's horrible. It's so scary.
It is a paragraph of like text, but like
every word is good. Every word.
It's so good. And like I underestimate it every single time. I don't know why. And then all of a sudden I'm getting overrun by measly little tutus, but like they hit hard.
Yeah, they do. Haste and trample on them. You can beef them up, and then it's like, oh, well, I can't even chump them because trample. So, yeah, very good. None of these were really in any particular order. They are all just very good to us, and we love them all very dearly. Let us know if, let us know any top commanders of your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, if you had one that you think we missed or whatever, like, just throw it in there because we'd love to hear it. We love to hear from you guys.
There's a few we wanted to put on here that just, sorry. Top 10 has to be top 10. I don't know. I'm just looking at these right now, man. Like, tribal decks made it out good this year. I think seven, you might be considering 8 maybe, or like tribal-ish commanders. Tribal made it out good this year. So did March of the Machines and Ixalan. Those are both very good sets. They each had. Yeah, it's very good. We had a lot of good sets this year, guys. I'm stoked for 2024. We're going to the Wild West, baby.
Wild West. And we'll see you there, partners.
Bye.
Bye.